What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today is the day we're heading back out to Dover's garage and we're going to check out this engine. So let's get this party started, right? So it's another cold and dreary day, but we're going out to check out the Coyote and maybe start disassembling it a little bit. I actually did get to talk to my good friend Frank over at Power by the Hour, and got some parts rocking for that. I'll have more details on that probably tomorrow. Go over all the parts and everything that you need to run that front engine accessory, the accessory drive for the front engine. So that is coming, and lots more coming. I'm really excited to check out this motor, so let's go. Alright guys, so we have arrived out here at Jeremy's garage, Dover's garage, and gonna check out this engine. Freaking pumped, see what's going on with it, and maybe get some work done. We'll see. Alright, if you caught the video when we headed down to Alabama for the Fox-body trip, there's the car right there. She's getting a little love. What's up, dude?
Hey, man.
Been doing a little bit of work on it. But anyway, that's not entirely why we're here. Why we're here, sitting right over here. That is the replacement engine. You said it's 2011?
2011 with 66,000.
So, and we actually got to hear this run. Jeremy was nice enough to run and pick it up over the weekend. But there she is. On the stand, ready to rock and roll in all of its Coyote glory. Now here's the thing about the truck engine, which I'm going to go into a little more detail later on. There are a few things that differ on the truck engines, not necessarily just internally but externally as well. So if you take a look at the engine, obviously it's got truck manifolds on it, which, I mean, nobody cares because you're going to be running headers anyway. Number two part has to do with this little place right here on the timing cover. This place on a Mustang timing cover is machined out for a tensioner. Now, if you're running just a, standard no power steering, no AC, all that, you can actually run this front accessory dress from the truck. You can run it just like that. But we're doing air conditioning, power steering. Okay, so here's another good tip that Jeremy brought up. When you're buying these engines, I mean, it depends on where you get it from, but if you buy a used engine like out of a truck or a Mustang or something, one thing you definitely need to have is this engine harness right here. That is not included in the control pack, so you definitely need that engine harness. It's got all the injector plugs and all that good stuff in it. So make sure when you're buying that engine, if at all possible, you need to have that. All right, so another noteworthy thing, the truck engines always come with an engine oil cooler, and I'll show you what I mean by the engine oil cooler. It's this giant thing right here, which is not a bad idea to have, but oil coolers are cool. Keep the oil cool. You are going to have to plumb it though, which can be kind of a pain in the ass and add a little extra expense. This is what it looks like when you take it off. This rod right here, this is where your filter screws into. Now, if you're not going to run it, then you need to pull that out, and you're going to have to get one off like a regular 4.6, 2-valve, 4-valve, something like that, and screw that into the block, and then you're good to go as far as just running the same oil filter, but you won't have that cooler. Either way, they both clear the K-members. The Mustang doesn't have that, so it's kind of kicked out to the side where this one points straight ahead, but either way, you can run it. You're just going to end up running a little extra plumbing if you do the oil cooler from the truck. So when you're talking about the front accessory drive, there's a couple of things that I wanted to point out other than that spot on the timing cover. If you're going to be running power steering, your power steering is going to be right here, and as you can see, the alternator is over here. Now when you use the power by the hour brackets, the alternator ends up here and is rotated around. The air conditioning, if you run air conditioning, is still going to stay down in that exact same place, but when you change that timing cover, you're going to have that extra tensioner there, so it's going to reroute a few things. So another good point that Jeremy and I were talking about was when you have the power steering pump over there where the alternator is now on the truck, again, you can see it down here. Basically all the lines off of like a 2000 Mustang GT will work. So it helps when you're going to plumb it. You don't have to have custom lines made. Just plug and play basically. And that also goes for the air conditioning as too. We're going to use a air conditioning compressor off of a 2000 Mustang GT. The lines are similar. You do have to do a few modifications to the lines to make them work, but it's not really a big deal. Jeremy's already done several of these swaps, so this one's going to go pretty smooth. All right, so I have to admit, Jeremy is a lot of the reason that I'm even going through with this. Like, I wanted to do the Coyote swap for quite a while, but you know, I'd never really fooled around with a Coyote car, never rode in one, never drove one, stuff like that. But one day, if you go back on our Facebook page, look in the videos, there's a live stream we did when I was shooting his car for a feature on the website. And we took a little ride in it. It was like after that, I was totally smoked, and I knew I had to do it. But this is the car in question right here. It's a 88 model. He's had it together just a couple of months, isn't it? Not even a few months, really.
Yeah, a few months.
But this is the first swap he did, and if you look right down there, you see what I was talking about the alternator. The different accessory brackets from Power by the Hour, they flip the alternator around, and this is a Mustang timing cover. If you look way down in there, it's kind of hard because it's dark, but that's where the new idler is on the Mustang front accessory bracket. But it's a super clean install. Got the hydro boost over there. Lines are run down through there. And then the air conditioning over here. They're all from a 2000 model?
Yeah, from 2000.
GT. And he had to modify it right here. I don't know if you can see it, but he had to cut and weld and rotate this around. This is from a Fox-body, right?
Yeah, it's a Fox-body dryer that modified.
And just modify that line. It used to point this way, and then now it points that way. Just a quick modification, but she's a little snug in there, but fits like a glove. And this car has stock truck cams. It's internally it's completely stock truck motor. It's got the ARH headers on it, ARH headers, and then the JLT cold air. And then it's got the 6R80. It's running the Power by the Hour 6R80 control pack. And this car will absolutely freaking fly. Now, when you're just driving normally, the car is pretty docile. I mean, it drives like a truck would, putting around a parking lot or something like that. But when you floor it, this thing comes alive, and it comes alive quick. All right, so what we're doing now, just kind of hatching plans. The possibility we may go ahead and yank the engine transmission out of the car this week. Just kind of makes sense. Needs to get that sold, and you know, while we're waiting on parts and stuff, the car can just sit. So good possibility we're going to do that this week to get things going, and need to strip everything off the front of this engine and get it ready for new parts. So it's getting a little dark. I'm headed back. We got the engine pretty well torn down, got all the F-150 stuff off of it. Got to get the timing cover and stuff on the way from Power by the Hour, and the brackets, power steering pump, and let's see what else. The AC compressor, got to get all that stuff on the way, and things can start moving along. Get everything back together, pretty much get it, all the front engine accessory brackets and stuff, get all those bolted up, and drop it in the engine, or drop it in the car just like that. And so a lot of the mechanical stuff like that are taken care of, but starting to move along, and I'm thinking probably this weekend little 302's coming out, so keep it tuned right here.